Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rays of Hope for the Collective. I am Hope, and I also have the YouTube channel Rays of Hope, Rainbow Light, Love, and Healing Tarot, where I do love readings and all types of readings. But today is a special reading on the collective, for the Shadow Warrior, which is a very important topic. It's usually the dark night of the soul for many of us that go through it and are going through it. I share this with you to help you to understand that after the dark night of the soul, when you awaken to the shadow, there is a potential spiritual reset, and it kind of lightens the load, all right, so that you're not burdened by the schisms of the separateness of who you are, the pieces of who you are. So anyway, I'm going to start this reading because it's very important. I can't use my cards because this work has been downloaded in my meditations to me. It took a year to put this all together. Every time I meditate, I'd write down things that came through, or I was guided to read a book or research or whatever it is to tie all these pieces together. So it's a compilation of many different aspects of work that I've done in the last year on my process of the shadow. So I want to share this with you and know that when I was training as a healer 30 years ago, it's been a long time. I had no idea what the shadow was. In fact, I had no clue. Shadow? What is that? But as we learn through our therapy sessions, because we all had to go to therapy as well, because when we do this very strong work in class, we are characterizing, triggering all kinds of things within our bodies and minds and spirit of things that would bring us up to understand the awakening of the shadow that we see within ourselves. So know that in order to heal others, we had to heal ourselves first. And know that, I guess what I want to say is this in a clear message to you that, there are many books on how to, there are therapists, there are healers, there are many ways that you can help yourself as well. But know that, we have to heal ourselves first before we can heal others, and we need to integrate the shadow and embrace the parts that we have buried and disowned. Those are the parts of us. You are a crystal. So when you fracture yourself or you become solid in a place where it's cold and frigid because no light can get in, that's the place we want to open. But there are many books and therapists that can support us in that work, which I've done and continue to do. And so, accepting our own humanity with love is a good place to start. Remove the masks and be authentic and honest as you can with yourself. Don't kill the messengers, for they are reflecting to you the things you need to know about yourself. A very famous psychotherapist, his name was Carl Jungian. You might have heard of Jungian or Jungian. Anyway, this is what he said. It's a very famous quote. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves, because when we get triggered, it's a gift for you to understand that there's something there for you too, because otherwise you wouldn't have reacted. Okay, so I'm going to start with a prose that I started years ago. This poem evolved as I continued my process, and I just re-edited it the other day. And so it goes like this. And know that here we have the warrior and the warrioress. I'm going to talk about the balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine and how important that is. But anyway, let me read this short prose. And it goes like this. After many years of wielding a sword, the shadow warrior, in his search for self-truth, has become lost and worn. The victories of his sword have become a shadow and reflection of mournful acts, and now fears it is not at all the truth that he has set out to seek. His heart and his mind are riddled with pain as he realizes in his suffering that he's destroyed many lives in his murderous rage. He is weary now and falls to his knees, striking the ground with a great blow from his sword. His voice roars as he plunges in deep into the crust of the earth, and at last he frees his sword of his horrible deeds. In that very moment, the earth shakes violently, and he falls in a howling, endless cry that opens his heart and compassionately forgives himself of his dark, dire past. He kisses the ground so softly as his tears fall to where his sword once was, and suddenly the quaking ceases. He rises in a grounded stance, his essence imploding and glistening in the sun, a light force all of his own. In his breathless moment, he pauses and observes that his body has softened and feels and sees that the truth he once sought is truly within, and that the power of his sword was just his ego, a mirror image of his own beloved shadow. So I know that the topic of the shadow is not a popular topic for who enjoys owning their flaws, their weaknesses, their lies, their betrayals, jealousy, selfishness, on and on and on. We can keep going, right? So focusing on our strength is more appealing, more enjoyable, and life affirming, right? However, know that when we explore our shadow side, it gives us the opportunity for self-development and opportunities for growth, and to be able to be more aware of the multifaceted beings that we are, because we are, and I'll get into that in a little bit. As we tend to our shadow, our consciousness expands, for shadow work is making the unconscious conscious. You understand that, right? As our hearts open, integrating the shadow, we must first act of compassion towards ourselves, right? Loving ourselves, which allows us to accept others without our projections of judgment or criticism, because we have learned to accept our own shadow selves. So when we start to work on ourselves, all of a sudden we become a light for others, and we see others as ourselves, and not to criticize or judgment, but just to observe where they are in their process, okay? So being aware of our emotions in the moment and taking a step back, pausing to breathe, to observe our impulses and triggers is very important. To be in the moment, to understand that when you're in the moment, you can feel that and don't dismiss it. Gives us a moment to choose whether and how to act on them. Reacting is a learned emotional behavior, right? When we react, that's not the way. Responding from our hearts in our open moments of truth is how we respond to something. So we step back, we go, how do I want to respond to this? Do I want to add more fire to the fire? Or do I want to, be in a balanced place and see all sides and just respond in a very wise way? And it's from your heart's truth that happens once you start to develop and start to clear the shadow. So from this, we all also become more self-aware, and we can access our moments more accurately and bring in ideas that unlock our creative abilities, because then now we have space to create, right? We're not bogged down by darkness and frequency, and that is not giving us more light into our life, okay? It's shadow and it's heavy. It's heavy. Every day we walk around like that, right? So when we can access our moments more accurately and bring in ideas that unlock our creative abilities, we also see others and evaluate situations with greater clarity, right? Like I said before, you now can see with compassion and understanding. We observe them in that light. And as a result, other people's behavior won't trigger us as easily anymore. We all have an easier time communicating with others, which results in improved relationships, right? So our physical body and mind at this point is not divided. We experience less pain. We feel more grounded, stronger, cohesive, and whole, meaning we are now becoming whole. All the pieces that were fractured, became fractured and cold and blocked, are now becoming more open to receive the light. So we think of a diamond. We are a diamond. We are a Merkaba of a diamond. We are pure. You are made from the stars, the same stardust that made the universe. You have everything that you reflect is within the universe. Everything in here is a reflection of what's within here, okay? So our energy fields become more metabolized. Energy is more efficient. Our splits and schisms will no longer drag us down, like I just said, ascension, activation, and our multidimensional selves will also begin to be understood. There's more opportunity than ever before to be supported by being the change and making the changes necessary for a better world, right? When we heal ourselves, we heal the planet. And remember, you are connected to a vast community of star families. Human strands of DNA contain elements of light that can be traced back to various sources, including the Pleiades, Arcturus, Sirius, Lyra, Andromeda, and other galactic origins. Know that this has been an experiment on Earth. Just think that your DNA has strands of all the galactic origins within you. And this is like, we're part of this unbelievable experiment here. And know that you hold the exponential light that all is created from. You are galactic and sovereign. Just be and breathe the freedom of peace and the love that you were created from. Developing our spiritual perceptions by raising and expanding our consciousness will create an awareness, reawakening our connection with all of nature and the elementals, healing the past and presence within all. Now, when I wrote this, I am connected to my star family. I'm connected to everything. I'm connected to everything. My ancestors who have left their footprints and spirit in the core of the earth, on the crust of Gaia, and I walk upon it, and I feel her. And I know that when I'm walking in those steps, she feels everything about me. So I try very hard in my everyday life to give her devotion and love and compassion, and to know that I am walking in the space of love with her. Okay? As we heal ourselves, like I said, we also heal the collective and our planet, okay? We are evolving, and it is the way of ascension from the inside out. That's how it works. It works from the inside out. We are the bridge between worlds. Heed the clarion call, my friends. We all arrived here for this mission of Earth's ascension into 5D. Each being opened its process of awakening within divine timing. We all don't open at the same time. We open at the right time, whenever it is for you. You have planned this before you came into this incarnation. The ascension of expanded consciousness of humanity and our planet has been planned for eons. Many of us volunteered, and we did. And not all of us can be chosen. Not all of us had the credentials, the resume to be here, to do this work, because it takes a lot of courage to be veiled of who you really are when you come here. But we had to become human first. So as we heal ourselves, we heal the planet. Many of us volunteer to be here in this glorious transformation. You know who you are as a starseed, waste shower, walk-in, light worker, earthling. We came here to embody the human process in our light bodies, to take on this mission. We became uncomfortable, feeling lost and homeless. Then one day, through a catalytic event, trauma, illness, we broke the program and unraveled to begin our destiny of knowing who we truly are. I came into this world that I knew when I was 5 that I wanted to heal the world. I used to watch movies, back in the day, a long time ago, Jesus movies, and I watched him heal people. And I said, I want to do that. I used to touch the television and say, I want to do that. So in and out of my life of distractions and non-distractions, I followed this path. And so know that Earth cannot sustain any longer the eons of lower vibration that has been a cancerous decay to her. She is moving and taking all who wish to be within a higher consciousness of a new golden age with her. Nothing can stop her. Just be aware that chaos is needed for movement, right? Like a pond that has no movement, right? What happens to that water? It becomes decayed and full of bacteria, right? Everyone is playing their part. Be grateful to everyone who is doing. Whether it be light or dark, this is what they've chose. It is a catalyst for opening the heart and moving into the light of truth. Our Gaia is already moving from 4D to 5D expanded consciousness. Remember, it is not a place. It is a consciousness. So don't feel that you're going to leave people behind. You're not. It's a shift. Just like you may have not known shifts that you created already in your life. You had friends who all of a sudden, no, I don't vibe with them anymore. I'm going to move here. That's a shift. It's the same thing, but this is a big one, okay? So know that, it is not a place. It is a consciousness you become. While still in physical form, your journey to 5D is an inner rising, a transformation of your perspective and heart and mind. The timeline split, like I said, we shift. We are multidimensional and have one foot in 3 dimension, and the reality in 3rd dimensional reality, and the other in the 5th. It's a juggling act, right? of consciousness meditation throughout the day's activities, that we keep kindness, integrity, love, and compassion for ourselves and others as we forgive and keep moving forward. So during the day, we have a lot going on, a lot of voices, a lot of people talking to us. We have the back door of our minds consciously being bombarded with information. So you have to be so conscious and aware, and that's why being in the moment is important. We are so distracted with social media, with news, and all kinds of things that have bombarded our consciousness and our face every day, that you have to kind of feel the moment and be in the moment to make the best choices for yourself. Okay, so the awakening of the earth. Okay, so the awakening of the earth is giving all this opportunity, and it's true. Countless beings of light across the cosmos are cheering all on, for the awakening of earth is a momentous event planned for centuries. Call on the highest light beings for guidance. It is a self-imploding process. No one can do it for you. No one can do it for you. Open your heart to see the truth. Your outer life changes from within, where balance is confirmed. And this is where we have the warrior and the warrioress. So the divine feminine and divine masculine needs to be balanced within us. The divine feminine is like the Empress in the tarot. She is love in manifestation. She is full of nature's embodiment. She is compassionate and loving and tender, and she's a healer. But she uses the divine masculine to be focused and grounded and determined, where the divine masculine wields not a sword anymore, nor does he have an ego, but he is filled with divine wisdom of courage and confidence and protection, and he uses his heart instead with love to guide others and to help and protect others. So you see how the divine masculine, divine feminine has to be within us. Know that if you are only working with one, that you have to start finding the balance in another. So that's what that means. We are both. We're not just one. You have to realize and be very understanding of yourself. Where do you use this energy? How do you use it? Are you in balance? Are you always, using the sword? We don't use the sword anymore. No, we let go of the ego. So know that once you balance this can be felt as a shift, and a beautiful transformation begins. The indigenous cultures, which I love, I know I've had many past lives from indigenous cultures, have known this. The elementals are here to support us: fire, air, water, and earth, sylphs, undines, salamanders, gnomes, and fairies. They have much knowledge to share, and there's many more deities and elements in different cultures, so know that those are just only the ones I know. They have much knowledge to share, and they wait for our call. They are a vast network of support, guidance, healing, inspiration, and love. As you work with nature spirits, you will realize that the entire universe not only has your back, but a source of practical guidance for you. Know that the nature spirits, they live in the forest of nature, right? And even if you can't be in a forest, you can connect with them through your visualization, through intention, and, looking at a book, a movie, or whatever it is that's nature to you in your heart. You may have memories. That's how you connect with them, but they connect with true hearts, pure hearts, people who they know have the intention of love. So that's how you connect with them. Nature spirits are wise and practical, funny, loving, and playful, and willing to co-create with humans to benefit the planet and its inhabitants. Everything is alive and has consciousness. Nature has its own consciousness, and when we merge with it, we begin to understand its purpose as a lifeline of support. There is spirit in all things, my friends. Be brave, be bold, for all things unknown and yet to be discovered within yourself and within the universal time that you're here, as you unravel and begin your destined and destiny call to love. So, accepting our own humanity with love is a good place to start. And know that, not all beings are here in the moment to help us, because whatever you're vibrating at, whatever your frequency is what you will attract to you. Okay? So if you're attracting things that you don't like, well, it's time to check in, go within, and find out where is it that you are? Where is that frequency coming from? things have to dissolve. And using the violet flame meditation in my description box, I have so much there. And I'm going to list something from Tom Montauk, if you don't know who he is. He gives really some really cool information on spiritual protection and how it kind of blends with what I'm talking about. I'm going to list that in the description box as well for you guys. And remember, we all have a shadow. Everyone is playing a part in this together. We need contrast and reflection to move, because we all need to be in our own light and honor the light of others. I'm not saying that you have to have a relationship with everyone, but allow them to be in their own light by being mindful. Just observe and understand, maybe they're having a bad day today. Maybe they're suffering from past trauma. You don't know. And so be mindful. By this, we can learn and forgive, so that the next opportunity that comes, we can respond always from our hearts, our truth, and not react emotionally. So I know it's not easy, but I'm still doing it. 30 years, and I'm still doing it, because this is my way, this is my mission. And in order to help others, I have to be that light for others as well. So I have to really work at it every moment of the day. And I'm not perfect, but this is what I want, and this is what I love to do. And this work comes from the stars, from my spiritual guides, from my ancestors, and from my everyday people. The everyday people that I meet who are teachers to me. That could be a child, it could be an elderly person, it could be my boss, it could be my friend, it could be my sister, my brother. It doesn't matter. Those words or things you need to hear and understand is constant. So be awake, be aware, and be in the moment, my friends. So anyway, it's not easy, but it is the way to sovereignty, to our freedom, to always just simply be. So be well, be safe, everyone, and much love to you. And if you have any questions, please, send me an email or leave a comment. I'll answer you. And also, if you wanted a copy of this, I posted it on Facebook under my name, Hope Saphos, so you'll find it there. I posted it yesterday. I think it's the second posting I put there yesterday, so you'll find it on Facebook. So again, if you have any questions or any comments or anything, just let me know. You have a great day, and be well, my friends. Bye-bye.